Hey guys, it's Morgan here in Australia, and today I want to share a little bit of my story with you. So, Brittany and I both knew that we were going to be coming to Hillsong, and we had made plans to come together in January of 2010, which is when I came. But unfortunately, Brittany didn't have enough funds to come at that time, so she stayed back home, and I came here. It was my first semester here, about midway, and I remember sitting in our women's service and Pastor Bobby was preaching, and this thought came into my head of, you're going to pay for Brittany's tuition and bring her here. And I tried to shrug it off and keep listening, but it just kept coming back. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a weird thought in the first place, but even if I was, how would I do that? There's no way I could do that. So I thought, okay, if I actually even did do this, what would it take? And I took her tuition and divided it up by the weeks that I had left, and it came to $866 a week, which was $123 a day that I would have to make for 6 weeks. And I didn't have a job. I was a full-time student, and I had no idea how I was going to do it. So now that I'm not listening to anything that's going on in the service, the word busking just came into mind. And I don't know if you know what busking is, but basically it's the most creative and adventurous job that I could think of. So what you do is you go in the city or in the shopping centers, and on the sidewalk you lay down your guitar case and you stand there and you play and you sing. And pray that you sound good enough that people actually throw money in. And in this case, pray that you sound good enough that people throw in $866 a week. So I realized that it was basically completely impossible. What I was going to do was so beyond me that it wasn't even funny. But that was, I guess, the fun part in knowing that, you know what, I have no idea how I'm going to do this or how it's all going to happen, but bring it on. So I started busking at some local grocery stores and shopping centers and started competing with all the other buskers and was well off on the adventure. So every Saturday morning I would wake up at 3:30 and pack my bags and be at Rouse Hill Shopping Center by 4 a.m. And I would sit there and wait until people came, and then I would play from 8 o'clock until 5 at night. By the end of my first day at Rouse Hill, I came home and counted the money, and I had made $365. I had decided to tell my housemates what I was doing and that I was going to raise money by busking to bring Brittany here, and just told them of my idea and to have them be praying for me. And they came back to me a little while later and told me that they wanted to help. They had never even met Brittany, had never talked to her or seen her, and they wanted to help out. And she's my best friend, so for me to help out and do something isn't that big of a deal. Because I would do anything to see her here. But they had never even met her, and it just blew me away that they would want to help. So we did a busking for Brittany weekend, which was the first weekend in May. On Friday and Saturday, 6 of us went out busking, and at the end of those 2 days, we came back with $1,000 from singing and playing our guitars on the streets, and it was incredible. After that weekend, I was able to continue busking and to keep going, and by the middle of May, by the grace of God, we had just about enough for her tuition, and it had been a surprise the whole time. So we had got her on Skype and told her that she had 31 days to pack her bags and to get over here because her tuition was paid, and it was really cool. It was so much fun. So through all of this, I got to see that God is faithful and that He is always on time. and to think about the fact that he could have done this in any way. He could have made it happen any way he chose, but that he chose to use a 20-year-old little girl from Elma to do it, and that I was blessed to be able to be used. And to be honest, if God can use me, He can use anyone. Oh, and by the way, happy Mother's Day, Mom. I miss you.